Hey you guys, it's Moni XO, and I get to sit down with Mena, Darré. Make sure you guys stay tuned.
Hello.
Whenever I'm upset, whenever I'm mad or happy, somehow ice cream has always made my worst days the best days.
Ice cream is the most emotional food item there is, right? When you think back, or you ask anyone, what was your first memory of ice cream? People will usually get this amazing smile on their face, and it was like, oh, I was with my grandmother, or oh, I was with my mother, or oh, my best friends. It's because ice cream really is about connecting people.
94XO invites you to Ice Cream Sundays, sponsored by Clementine's Naughty and Nice Creamery. Mena, Darré, welcome to Ice Cream Sundays. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I'm super excited. So we're going to go right into the icebreaker.
Okay.
Go ahead, tell me a little bit about yourself and your brand.
All right. So I grew up in North and South side of St. Louis, single parent household. But I had some help with my mom had some help with my grandparents. So we were very close-knit family. I would say fast forward to high school, graduated from Career Academy as salutatorian.
Okay.
I think people were surprised that I didn't go to like a university right away. I ended up going to community college because I did not know what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I was one of those kids that just like, I don't know what I like.
Hey, so I was going to say that's the smartest thing to go to community college. If I could go back, I would have done that instead of doing what I did, but continue on.
Yeah, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I knew that going to university, I was just going to be spending a lot of money on like high school classes, going to science class, math class. Like I did that in high school, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money on that. But I ended up, still diving into photography. I ended up transferring after I figured out what I wanted to do. I went to Lindenwood University. Studied exercise science. Fast forward later, I'm not doing that anymore. I was personal training. I was a health coach for teens.
Okay.
But I still had that passion for photography.
Yeah.
So graduated with my master's, and I ended up just taking photography full time. I just realized that I loved sports in high school. I loved art, but I felt like my heart was getting pulled towards photography.
Yeah,
but
it's like you kept coming back to it.
Exactly. But society, they'd be like, don't be the starving artist. And so I think I allowed society to kind of dictate my path.
Yeah.
Until I had to realize, I can be successful at this. I don't have to listen to society. I don't have to be the doctor, the lawyer. I can actually be a creative and still make a decent living for myself.
And be happy doing it too.
Exactly.
That's like the key thing about it. That I was gonna say, so everything ties into branding. Like, why is branding, empowerment, all these things tied into your brand specifically?
So, of course, branding is, the thought leaders think as branding as, what do people say about you when you leave a room? And are they talking smack about you, or are they uplifting you and saying, hey, Mena is amazing at what she does. I look up to her. She's very passionate, So those are the things I want people to take away when I walk away from the room. And so when it comes to photography and me helping other brands build their actual brand, I like to help people look good. I want people to say, your brand looks amazing with my help. And so, because people will say, oh, her brand looks cheesy. She has her website is amazing. I want to help people, go from mediocre to like millionaire brand.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, you're the type of person that actually like puts 150% effort into other people. It shows in your work. It shows in all the things that you post, like on social media and whatnot. So I think that's amazing. And then on top of that, like tying into the whole women empowerment thing and saying like, hey, like, we're making a difference out here.
Exactly.
Like I always say, this is Women's Year,
Right,
so,
exactly.
It's exciting just to see like the growth, and that kind of like ties into the next question of your growth as a creative, being an entrepreneur. Like, how has that been?
It's been amazing. I think the biggest thing for me was elevating my mindset. I think that's the biggest challenge is, being able to stay positive even when things are not going so well.
Yeah.
Before I quit my job, I actually signed up for therapy. And when I say it changed my whole way of thinking, so now navigating entrepreneurship even when I start doubting myself, I just go back to my therapy lessons and just, remembering what my therapist said, we are telling ourselves these false truths. And it's like, what's really true? You're not a failure. You might have didn't hit your goal this time, but okay, you live and you learn. What can you do differently? It's not about being perfect all the time, but just, having the courage to even step up again, even after you didn't reach your goal. So
Definitely.
it's not, so making sure you just stay positive, even, when things are crazy, like COVID-19. Crazy.
Yeah.
But those people who were able to keep that positive mindset and keep going, those are the winners, because they didn't allow society, they didn't allow tragedy to keep them stuck.
Girl, Renee is over here. That's what I need to hear right now. So now, what are your goals as a community figure, a public figure, and being an entrepreneur?
My biggest goal is to not only help other entrepreneurs build generational wealth through building their brands, but it gets deeper than that. Mm-hmm. So at this current moment, I am really diving deep into helping Black and Brown students get exposed to creatives. I'm pretty sure, I know myself, I wasn't exposed to photography other than on TV. Mm-hmm. I knew I enjoyed fashion, I like photography, but there was no one I could actually touch and reach out to. Hey, I want to be a photographer when I grow up. No one was there. So my goal right now is to expose as many Black and Brown kids as possible to the world of creativity. You don't have to be the doctor, the lawyer, the engineer, if that's not what you choose. Not to say that those jobs aren't important, but there are other options. And so I just want to make sure those kids who are not big into those careers, that they know they have other options, and that's the creative field.
I love it, and just seeing like how big photography, videography, how big those things have been lately, and like people actually realizing like, oh, you guys are dope. Like y'all do a lot of dope work behind the scenes. Like people don't understand.
They don't understand the level of work it takes to not only first of all, pack all that equipment up, go to the location, have a positive attitude, create the art, go back, and then produce a final product. People do not realize the amount of time and creativity it takes, and the amount of money that it takes to produce these things. So they don't know.
Look, I understand. I've seen it behind the scenes, and I have so much patience, and I appreciate all of you guys as creators.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna go into the You Got Served.
Okay.
So what ice cream did you pick, and why did you pick it?
I chose the blackberry
Buttermilk.
Okay. Totally forgot. Okay, blackberry buttermilk. I chose it because they did not have my flavor, which was the honey lavender. It's another flavor that I like from Clementine. But I've been drinking Mike Hart's blackberry lemonade.
So you said that might be an idea, Clementine.
Man, so I've been eating blackberry stuff for the past week. So blackberry alcohol, blackberry smoothie. And I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and try the blackberry ice cream.
Let me try this for breakfast.
It's actually pretty good.
So what is your favorite ice cream memory that you have?
Favorite ice cream memory? I was actually in New Orleans, and I was blown away by the vanilla ice cream down there. It was my first time in New Orleans. I was about like 24. I was working the 100 Black Men conference in New Orleans.
Okay.
I was doing photography down there for the volunteers. And I had the ice cream, and I was just blown away about how good it was. And so apparently that's when I learned that New Orleans is known for their food. And when I could say, I think they were laughing at me because I was such a foodie, and I was just blown away at how good the ice cream was.
You didn't know this?
No.
You were missing out.
And I remember the waiters, they were just smiling. They just thought it was so adorable that I was just blown away by the food. But yes, in New Orleans, the best ice cream I had ever in New Orleans. So
New Orleans.
Yes.
Go there.
It was so good. And that was a while ago, but I think that was my favorite.
The fact that you can remember it still.
Yeah, because that was my first time in New Orleans. That was my first time traveling as a photographer. So it was like all these great memories in one trip.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, girl. It's time for the Naughty and Nice segment. So this is the nice jar. This is naughty.
Okay.
What you're going to do is pick 2 questions from each.
Okay.
Pick them however you want.
Okay. So
And good luck.
Oh, Lord. I have to read it right away?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We want to know what you got to answer.
If you were a bagel, what type of bagel would you be? The everything bagel, because I am everything. I'm naughty, I'm nice, I'm sweet, I'm sour. I can be everything.
I like that.
All right.
Let's go nice.
What's the first movie that made you cry? Probably The Notebook.
That should be naughty.
The Notebook. This one.
No,
this
the
question.
Oh,
yeah.
it's sad.
The Notebook. It really had me in tears, and I remember watching it in Spanish class at Career Academy. Our Spanish teacher made us watch this, and it was so good, and I was just crying like a baby.
Honestly, I cry at like every movie. You know, movies that be happy, but then they have like that little sad. I get so teary. I'm sensitive. So
that's true. All right, let's see. Which holiday would you erase altogether from our calendars if given the opportunity? Oh my Lord. What holiday?
I wouldn't erase any holiday that I get off.
Big facts. Probably the 4th of July. Because we got Juneteenth. I mean, there it is.
Period.
Let's see.
Last one.
If you could domesticate any animal in the world, which would you pick? Ooh, probably an elephant.
I would say why?
I would choose an elephant because that's my favorite animal. It's tatted on my back.
Oh, okay.
But the woman elephant, they are the leaders. They take care of the family, and they are very, very smart.
I was gonna say,
so
what does the elephant represent?
There's a symbolism with women elephants.
Okay,
So, yeah.
I like that. All right. Well, go ahead. Give us the scoop. What are some things you have coming up? Where can people find you, book you, support you?
So what's coming up is I am releasing my content creation masterclass, and that is a class where I teach entrepreneurs and other creatives who cannot create content. Let me say they're on a budget and they need to create content. So they're learning how to take their own photos, they're learning how to create their own graphics. I'm going to be releasing that class again in August, and for your listeners, I'm giving them a special discount.
Oh.
And so all they got to do is use code 94XO.
Oh.
Well, I understand that people cannot always afford a photographer, videographer, or graphic designer. And so when I first started growing my brand, I was doing things on my own. So I understand like budget is important, which is why I'm teaching other creatives how to create their own content. So that way they can't say, I don't have professional pictures or graphics to get started. Nope, no excuses. We're not doing that this year. Nope. So they have the class, they have the code 94XO, and they can find out about the class by going to brainwithmena.com.
Okay, I'm so excited for you. Oh, that was super dope. All right, well, thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm Moni XO, and we're out. Be easy.
You just finished watching an episode of Ice Cream Sunday, sponsored by Clementine's Naughty and Nice Creamery. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to 94XO. Be easy.